Hello, all of you. I hope you all are doing very well with your decision towards taking up the optional for UPSC examination. I'm certainly not here in front of you to give you the outline to select this option or that option. You definitely have to do it on your own because what works for one may not work for me. I need to be very clear with it. This video by default is for all of us who have decided geography to be our optional. How to approach geography, how exactly I can make maximum out of this particular discipline, because you keep on hearing about it's one of the very popular optional, the success rate is fluctuating, it is no say you need to get into smaller syllabus optional, it becomes bulkier when it comes to geography. I'll not give you any false information. You all are very well informed individuals. You all must have decided going through the syllabus details that yes, geography can be my optional for this competitive examination, which I must add as a tail ender. I don't need to speak about it. It has been so much talked about. One of the most difficult examinations that we are having in our country. So you have taken that decision. Let us just try to groom up and further boost up our confidence as in what makes this particular optional so famous, so majorly opted. Success rate, let me tell you my dear friends, is something that goes fluctuating. It cannot be that a topper from one optional has been there in a particular year, so other optional becomes zero. It is not that way, not at all. Because among the available optional, precisely all of us will have say 2, 3, 4 maximum subjects from where I decide on my optional. So I don't think that is anywhere of a major cause of concern, or that should be molding your decision towards taking an optional or not. Be very confident, be very poised, be very self-affirmed that what you have taken it in your best capacity and knowledge, and you just work towards improving the way you can improve your approach of study of geography. And this video is basically oriented towards it. So as we all are beginning with our preparation for 2023 main, we have to take the understanding very clearly that my approach to prepare geography has to be, I'll not say different, but it has to be customized to cater my requirement, to cater my challenges, limitations, to cater my strength. And to understand it, I'll very shortly talk about how exactly we need to treat this discipline. This is very important. So just in order to save time, I have already jotted down some points if I just refer them. So first thing that you need to understand is geography is the discipline that goes as the discipline of synthesis. There is one scholar, name is Feynman. You do study about him when you take the study of perspective and development of human geography. Feynman identified that geography is a discipline of synthesis. What does that mean and why I should be concerned about it? Because there is a topic in my syllabus, perspective and development of human geography, that makes it compulsory that I should be aware of Feynman's idea. Actually, no. It is to do with the fact that Feynman has given us the understanding that this discipline is the discipline that talks about synthesis. It derives its content matter from precisely every other known discipline. You can take many other examples to it. I have political science, so political geography. I have economics, so economic geography. I have anthropology, so human geography. I have demography, so population geography. I have geology, so geomorphology. And you can keep on counting. Geography is a discipline of synthesis. I think that makes sense. The second thing that I have written here, and they all need to be combined to proceed further, it is a contemporary discipline. That is the reason I always insist that when you are preparing for geography as your optional, you should always keep in your mind. Everything is geography and geography is everything. This is something that cannot be missed out by any one of us. When I'm saying geography is a contemporary discipline, I need to make myself aware of the fact, I need to make myself consistently focusing on updation. I cannot remain outdated. As in, if I'm even talking about the physical principles, any specific physical principle, right now we have just experienced a cyclonic circulation in our country. I'm preparing for a typical topic of climatology that talks about tropical cyclone, or I'm taking it in paper 2, which is asking me to read it as the hazard, cyclonic hazard. Now, does it sound logical that I need to incorporate the recent examples if I'm writing it in paper 2 in context of India? And if I'm writing it in paper 1, of course, India is also in the world, so you can write that example and many other examples. I think it goes very clear. And when I take up the reference of any other human component, so whether I talk about population, so new data table, fertility decline in India, what are the causes, what will be the likely consequences of it, or agricultural policy, industrial policy, trade policy, new outcome that is likely to have with the recently held Quad summit. You can take any of these. Geography is a contemporary discipline, and we need to make sure that this contemporary approach should be inculcated when I am preparing for this optional. And the third thing that I have written, it is basically the extension of subject of synthesis, but it's a coherent subject. What makes it coherent subject is, I put this bubble here. What makes this as a coherent subject is the content matter of geography is comprised of physical environment and human environment. So you need to be very cautious and clear with the fact that let it be that my syllabus is actually divided as paper 1 world geography, paper 2 geography of India, and in both the case I have got the division of the syllabus as physical and human geography. But when I prepare for my optional, I need to keep in mind that these two are not isolated blocks at all. They have got their overlaps. And if you have gone through the details of the syllabus, you must have noticed that in physical geography, hardcore topic, I don't want to go to the syllabus details. That is not the purpose of this particular interaction that we are willing to have right now. It's only that if I take a sample case, I have got a topic called geomorphology, and in geomorphology, I have got the tail ender head which talks about applied geomorphology. And when I talk about applied geomorphology, whether it is geohydrology, let me write these terms here. If I take the reference of geohydrology, or for that matter, I take up the term economic geology. I take both of them. I'm sorry, right here. Geohydrology or economic geology, mind it, you are talking about groundwater and you are talking about resource distribution as mineral resources, energy resources, and so on and so forth. So, can you draw a boundary line that this is physical geography and should be kept aloof of human geography? You cannot. And similarly, when I talk about human geography, I can take the account of human planning, anything, any economic planning. There is no exaggeration if I say any planning. I am talking about any aspect of human planning, be it agricultural planning, be it industrial planning, be it demographic planning, you keep on counting it, cannot be aloof of. And I think all of us will readily agree to this. And when it cannot be aloof of sustainability, not getting into the details of concept of sustainability, we the global community have gradually evolved to understand that world needs supplementation of frontier ethics to sustainable ethics. And when I talk about frontier to sustainable ethics, is it not that I need to make all my planning, all my functioning, all my approach of development, inclusion, to be at par with nature, natural conditions and dictate. So can I make it aloof of physical environment? I cannot. I think I have made all the 3 points very clear. So when I say I am preparing for geography as my optional, first and foremost thing that you should keep in your mind, that you are not supposed to be, within quotes, boldly underlined, capital letters, masters of geography. You cannot. When I say that in 4.5, 5 months, you will be very well done with your geography optional, I'm not saying that I'll make you masters of geography, because mind it, I don't have any hesitation in acknowledging it, that it is 20 years that I am into this civil services training, and you can add on some 5-8 years that I have been training myself as a geographer. So it is near 25-30 years that I have been into geography completely, and every day I am learning new geography. I have invested 3 decades to learn geography and I'm still learning. So how I'm correct in saying that you will become masters of geography in 4.5 to 5 months? Sorry, that is not the case. What is the case? You will become the masters of the requirement of this examination in 4.5 to 5 months time. I hope that difference makes a lot of sense to all of you, because that difference has to be kept in mind and has to be regularly reminded. You need to always push your mind to, no, I'm not here to become master. I'm not here to do research. I'm here to crack one examination. So I need to be on the track of what is the requirement of the examination. And I will add one important thing here. During the COVID times, when we were pushed to the online mode, there was a compulsion for us to get into the division of the syllabus to handle it. I maintain it very clearly that as the discipline is contemporary, nature of examination is contemporary, so you need to keep on. I'm always on my toes. I cannot relax. That yes, I'm done, I've been teaching for so long that I don't require to learn myself. That is a very wrong kind of an approach. If a lamp is not burning itself, if sun is not continuously generating heat energy, will it be in the position of providing solar radiation that we are receiving as insolation? No. So you need to be, I need to be on my toes to make you learn the things that make you at par with your competitors in this particular competitive examination. It's something which is not to be said, it is something which is very obvious, right? That is the reason I said I don't have any hesitation in saying, acknowledging that I'm still learning geography. And it's okay, it's absolutely fine. You need to be understanding the fact, as I was talking about, that requirement of examination is decided as per question trend. And as per question trend, there has been the understanding that the nature of questions are principally changing from, because I have to take UPSC approach, I have written 2 things there. But before I talk about those 2 things which I have already written, if I just add on the point here, that the pattern of the questions if I ask you to take for last few years, don't go much older, let us take 2012 onwards. Then also we are taking the sample of a decade almost. What you notice is the nature of questions are principally getting molded to, and I want to write it there because this is something very important. The nature of questions is largely changing from. So I'll write both the things. I attempt it as static part of the syllabus and then dynamic part of the syllabus. And what I have insisted is 2012 onwards, dynamic segment of our topics have been more prominent in my question paper. And dynamic doesn't come from textbook. You read the question and right there in examination hall, you have to create out the answer. When I provide you model answer, to the tests that you attempt or the assignments that you write as regular assignments in the class sessions, a topic done, write the assignment. I always identify, I always emphasize that if it is a sort of a static topic, you have to talk about demographic transition model, you are talking about any paradigm in geography, you have to talk about what is the structure and the weather impact of tropical cyclone, what is plate tectonic theory, what is Wilson cycle, and so on and so forth. You will be having a sort of static type of answer, and there trying to be different from your peer group is not advisable at all. If you are writing about Wilson cycle, you need to quote Wilson, to Zoe Wilson. You cannot be different from the others. What makes the difference there is the way you put in your content matter. That is called organizing your answer or thought process. I'm not talking about it right now. You just keep on visiting this space, because I'll be talking about how to handle the framing up of the answer when it is a static type of a question and dynamic type of the question. So I'll continue, I'll make 2-3 the sequence in this particular informative videos, so you can check on this space eventually. For the time being, if it is that my question trend is changing more to dynamic, and dynamic, I very strongly highlight this term. In dynamic, we are having more of hidden heads. I'll write hidden topics. You know, this is debated, but the fact is, where is the limit then? If the topic is not written in my syllabus and can be asked in examination, so where is the limit? What is the logic of the syllabus? You know, hidden topic is not that you need to prepare everything, but hidden topic is that when you are learning karst topography, you are learning Aeolian topography, you are learning the origin of the Earth's crust, you are learning volcanic features. So why you are not in the position of handling pseudo-volcanic features? You are learning weathering, you are aware of frost action, you know that the frost action is applicable to periglacial area, then why you are not aware of periglacial cycle? This is incomplete preparation. This cannot be considered to be out of syllabus. When I am supposed to learn atmospheric circulation with jet streams, both the terms mentioned in our syllabus, how I can be ignorant about tricellular meridional circulation? Come on. Atmospheric circulation means tricellular meridional circulation. I don't think it is simply ignored because it is not written in syllabus, and then you claim that it was coming out of syllabus. That is the reason it was not done in the class. Disagreed. Absolutely disagreed. Hidden is something which is by default. Hidden is something which has to be done. It is a stepping stone basically towards certain type of reference. Monsoonal mechanism is written. Just try to understand this. Syllabus reads monsoonal mechanism both in paper 1 and 2. Now, I'm learning about monsoonal mechanism, how I can be ignorant about equatorial Kelvin waves. Simple logic. You cannot. And if you are not on the right track of preparation. I think I'm making sense. So what you need to understand, you have decided geography to be your optional, very good. And if you have decided it, you have to actually take the learning of these two blocks. So block 1 I have already talked about, and then I talk about block 2 and be very cautious with it. When I talk about the UPSC approach and I pick up these 3 expressions, let me label them as A, B and C. I can easily see the overlap here. If the subject is subject of synthesis and coherent subject, so it automatically have got its benefit. So I take it A plus B. C here will be better. Okay. So A plus C is that benefit of overlap with syllabus of GS. Geography of world and society, history, geography of world and society. And then you have got environment, ecology, biodiversity, climate change, hazard, where you have to take up the economic aspect and government policy. Mind it, this will be having its very major, no other optional, and I repeat it again, no other optional will give you that much of the overlap to your general studies as geography gives you. And as soon as I take up B into account, so you are getting a fair share of Your current affairs done with geography optional, vice versa. I'm done with my current affairs, I get a very prominent lead to geography. I'm done with my geography optional with all the contemporary dimension. I'm majorly done, and actually it is never with a full stop, so I'll be wrong saying I'm done. I'll say I'm doing, comma. I'm in the process of updating my knowledge about the government policies in the social sector, welfare sector, economic subdivided, agricultural sector, transport sector, industrial sector, so on and so forth. So you have to take the understanding of the fact that geography as a discipline is, I'm preparing formally for 500 marks, that goes for my 2 papers, perfect. But actually preparing for this 500 marks, I am getting the additional benefit of some 350 to 360 marks, because that overlap with our general studies paper is a lot of overlap. And I, as the student of geography optional, must try to take benefit of it. Before I close down with this video, I hope I have given you a very good perspective to it, and I also want you to, because there have been many cases in this regards. Yes, it is something that we are in the competitive environment and we need to be cautious. My advice to all of you, dear students, is that don't get trapped with the glittering, huge advertisements and the banners. All the centers are very good to their stride, but I can certainly say be cautious while selecting the centers of your choice for your preparation, because you are investing. Forget about money. Forget even about the time, because many of you are too young to get into this field, and I appreciate that enthusiasm and that determination of yours. So I totally ignore out the money that you are investing. I give secondary prominence to the time. You need to understand that it is all about your dream. You need to understand that it is all about your future, and you need to be very cautious. This is decision-making job. Take decision with all rationality, because regret is precisely what is most detrimental. Sometimes some of us find it difficult to bounce back. A friendly advice, and I'll continue to give you some more extension to what I have just talked about in this particular video. Happy learning, as I always say, because when you are happy, you are doing your best. When you take pressure, then your work efficiency decreases. Never ever trigger your panic button. This is not advisable. This is not advisable. You need to be at your poised, confident, calm level. And you need to understand that efficiency increases when I am at confident self. Compete, but compete first with yourself. You are not required to be at competition with anyone else, because the person who competes with himself, herself, is the person who is actually developing excellent strategy for his or her success. All the very best from my side. Bye-bye.